Hey, welcome to my channel. Now I'm out here pretty early this morning because the baby's coming today. Holly has hurt her back, and it started when she was pregnant, and then just after having him she has just really aggravated it, and she's been hobbling for the longest time. So we told her, get to the chiropractor. She went to one, and we didn't like how he was doing because we have a good chiropractor. So he's like, no, you go to our chiropractor. So we sent her to ours, and she said after one visit with him she could already tell the difference. So we're like, a couple more weeks, you can be fine as frog's hair. So anyway, we get to watch the baby while she goes. She's got a kind of early appointment this morning, so I figured I better get this done because, you know, baby. But what I was saying was, I'm out here early, and there's going to be a lot of traffic because people are going about their lives like that. They don't care that I'm on here trying to talk to y'all. They really do not. So anyway, this is weigh in. Now I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to tell you flat out, I slacked this week. I slacked. Oh my gosh. I stayed on plan, but I added to it. I did the add-on plan. I got into some Halloween candy, which was only one day, and I think maybe two the next day, that I was putting out my Halloween decorations. Let's see, can you see her legs? Let me see. There. Some people asked about that when I was on here last time. I made that last year. That's one of those witch hat wreath forms from the Dollar Tree, and her hat part is actually an old, I did a video on it, or it is an old, like, not velour, but kind of a velvet, some kind of crushed purple material that was a top. And when I saw it at the VV, I'm like, whew, perfect for a witch hat. Anyway, I made that last year. I can't show you because I can't turn this camera, it'll be all wobbly, but I got witch hats hanging from my ceiling up here. Hold on, let me see, you might can see. Okay, right there, you see the shadow? I got some of those hanging. David hung them for me the other day from my ceiling. Let me see if I can get that back right. Anyway, weigh in. I slacked off the Halloween candy. He bought that probably 2 months ago. We went to BJ. Lord, that man, I'm gonna tell you what. Knowing we was doing low carb, we walked by BJ's going to get our meat. He looked over at the Halloween candy. He sees this big bag of candy. He's like, well, that's just plumb cool, because it had like Reese Ghost and I don't know, something else. And he just thought, okay, if we get any trick-or-treaters, that'll be cool for them. He said, or whoever. I'm like, you gonna put that in the buggy? He goes, well, I think it's cool. I said, well, do what you want to do. For 2 months, I kid you not, it stayed in my back closet in there in my craft room. Did not touch it. This is from a woman who has been known to dig in Sebastian's candy, waiting on him to show up month after month after month after month. You leave something in front of me, I'm going to eat it. But you know what? I didn't break into it. I didn't sneak into it. I left it completely closed until I decorated whatever day it was this week. And I put out my pumpkin jar. So I filled up my pumpkin jar and I ate, I don't know, probably 6. This is the little, you know, not full size, like little size like that. I can't believe people got the nerve to try to go to work and school. Anyway, so I got into that. I ate, like, because I was still doing low carb, and I ate some carbs. You know, I can't even remember what I ate, but it was things that I shouldn't have had on low carb if I was sticking to it. So I did not know. I weighed one time a few days ago, and I wasn't too sure about it because it was a gain. But I weighed this morning, and I weighed in at 321.6 for a loss of 1.4. That puts me at 55.5. Yeah, 1.4, 55.5. I guess maybe I shook up things, which is what I'm doing with this Simply Feeling. We will talk about that tomorrow. We'll do our kickoff video tomorrow, since tomorrow is the 1st, and that is our first official day of our challenge, our Back to the Beginning challenge. Now let me tell you, I was looking on the Facebook this morning because that's one of the first things I check. I like to check my memories, and then they always have news stories over there, like what they think would interest me. Well, how do you know they put up a story about the DT? How did they know the DT would interest me? And it's a local news station too, so it's not even out of the blue somewhere. Listen, there's my cup I made, remember? Perfect for Halloween. Perfect for any time of year. Witches do be crazy. So, the DT is going to change. We already know they have the plus, which is like $3 to $5 items. Well, now, in select areas, they said, so it's not going to be all of them to begin with. It's probably a test market, and it better not be my test market. They're going to start pricing some things at $1.25 and some things at $1.50, because they said inflation and the way that things are going with the product and money and manufacturing situations, they got to start making some money. You think they don't make enough money off of me? I got news. I ain't going to the Dollar Tree and paying $1.25, which I probably will if it's something I want. But the principle of the Dollar Tree, where everything is $1, is being blown out the window. So there you go. You heard it from me. It's on my Charlotte news station. So I didn't make it up. It is what is happening. Don't like it. Gonna protest? No, not really. So one of my Facebook memories this morning. Oh my gosh. Hold on, my neighbor's Mustang's fixing to go. Well, I thought maybe he'd wave at me, but he did not. And that SUV is louder than his Mustang. You hear that? That's like that little one that came through the other day. Just, if you're gonna have a stain, make it loud. Listen, my first husband had a 69 Camaro. Listen, it ain't no wonder David likes a 69 Camaro. Everybody I have ever known in my life has had a 69 Camaro. My high school boyfriend, my brother, my first husband. David, did he have one? Surely he didn't have one and got rid of it. He just wants one. So anyway, my first husband, it thumped. And I'm gonna tell you what, I was raised up in a racing family, and so I just kind of thought if I was in a hot rod, then I needed to drive like it. So I would race anybody on the street. I did not care. I was in my 20s. You know that theme song, Witchy Woman. I was crazy. I think I was crazy. But if you looked at me crooked, I would race you. And I'm gonna tell you what, right now, men love to race women because they like to feel that they're like some kind of macho man and that they can beat a woman. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, they didn't always beat this woman. The one thing he told me, if you don't think you can beat them, don't race them. And that always stuck in my mind. I'm like, okay, if I don't think I can beat you, I'm not going to put myself out there. Just going about your business. But if I thought I could beat you, I'm dogging it. Well, we were going down, I can see it in my mind. Of all the things I have forgotten, some things just stick. I can see it in my mind, except I can't remember what he was driving. He was driving a hot rod too. He comes up beside me on the main road out there. Lord, somebody's hollering, Ma, or something. I don't know what's going on over there. The kid don't want to go to school. We was coming down through there, and you know how, if you ain't never like drag raced on the road, they'll come up beside you and they'll gun it, or they'll pop the top of the, outside the window, tap the hood. Well, he obviously wanted to race me, so I'm like, okay, bud, you got it. So I hit it. I'm telling you, I hit it hard. We got up to the stoplight at McDonald's and it turned red. Well, obviously I got there first. He come up behind me. When he pulled up beside me, he looked out the window and he gave me a thumbs up. That's probably the best race I remember because he gave me my props. That was good times. Anyway, how did I get on that subject? How in the world did I even get on? Oh, because that man's driving his Stinger. So one of my Facebook memories this morning was from 7 years ago. I did not realize it had been that long since I fell. I had a tooth abscess. It was horrible. I have a fear of the dentist like nobody's business. I mean, there's like a button in the dentist chair. When my butt hits it, I start crying. He don't even have to touch me or look at me. The nurse don't have to look at me. I just start crying because I had a bad experience as a child and it has never left me. Well, I went to go have the tooth pulled. I didn't know. Let me give you a hint. If your tooth is infected, it ain't gonna numb. Been there, done that. Sat in the dentist chair all day long. Got 10 shots. I'm not exaggerating and I'm not lying. He gave me 10 numbing shots trying to get that tooth out. Still couldn't get it all out. And then finally sent me to this other specialist, whatever. And he was mad. He was like, why didn't he send you over here right away? I'm like, I don't know. But I was traumatized with that too. And I was a daggum grown up. So anyway, I go to get it put to sleep. That's how I do it. Well, I did not take my medicine that morning. So I went and got it done. They give you anesthesia. You know how the anesthesia makes you groggy and everything. Well, I come home. It's probably about lunchtime, I reckon. So I go ahead and take my medicine. Those of you that don't know, I take in the teens, the high teens of medicines. More pills, but prescriptions. I take that many prescriptions. And some of them have side effect of making you sleepy. And then you put some of them together and they're going to make you sleepy. They're going to make you groggy. So about lunchtime I took my medicine. Yeah. Well, it hadn't been too long, and I guess from the effects of the anesthesia, then I took the medicine, when I got home, I forgot that I took my medicine, so I took my second. I take it morning, like midday and supper time. I took my midday medicine right on top of it. And of course there's double of some pills and then other brand new pills, and it mixed with that anesthesia, and I went to the bathroom. I even had it on my memory. I went to the bathroom. It was like 10 after 4. The next thing I know, I woke up. It was 4:45. No. What's 40 minutes? 4:50? However it was, I had been asleep on the toilet for 40 minutes. 40 solid minutes I fell asleep. Well, my legs went to sleep. I mean, they were absolutely, it's like I didn't have legs. And like an idiot, I stood up. I wasn't thinking, I was just getting up. And when my toilet is sitting over here, and I got a pretty big bathroom because the washer and dryer is in it, and the way the things are in the ceiling, it's just made that big. So there's a pretty good space in between the toilet and the sinks and the bathtub. So when I stood up, it was like I stood up without legs, and I just tipped over like a tree. Somebody just cut a tree down, and my head banged the side of that tub. I started screaming. Well, David, he sleeps during the day. He come running. I think he went to the kitchen first because he thought I fell in the kitchen. And then he finally come in there and found me in the bathroom. And he got down there. I was just crying because I'm going to tell you what, it hurt. Imagine just poop, not tripping and falling, straight up timber. Well, he looked at my head. He goes, oh, honey, we're going to the hospital. He said my head was huge, Okay, you can't see it. Right there is still a dent. I still have a dent in my head. I call it my Franken head. So I couldn't get up because I had no feeling, zero, zilch, negative. I had negative feeling in my legs. So I couldn't get up. I couldn't use them. I wasn't as big as I am now, but I was still pretty doggone big. He reached down in pure adrenaline. He picked me up and dragged me to the car. I do not know how that man did it, but he did. So we got to the hospital. No broken bones, no concussion, no brain damage, no skull damage, no, I hit my legs, my knees and everything. No, they x-rayed those, no broken knees, nothing like that. But I'm gonna tell you what, I had a black eye to beat all black eyes. It was a shiner and a half. It was like that episode of Andy Griffith when that little boy's picking on Opie. He says if he don't give him his milk money, he's gonna whoop his tail, and Opie's scared, and Andy tells him, oh, don't worry about it. I didn't even feel it. And so he come on in, they sit down on the steps, him and Barney and Andy. He goes, you know what? I laughed. He said, then I tore into him like a windmill in a tornado. And he had a black eye, and he says, ain't she a beaut? Prettiest black eye I ever seen. I kind of had one of those. So anyway, that was my Facebook memory. That was I can laugh about it now, but I wasn't laughing back then. I'm going to tell you what. No way. Okay, well, I think that was all I was going to talk about today. I want to go on in and get this video. Well, I mean, she's not coming this early, but listen, you just don't know with YouTube. If you have a YouTube channel, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you go to upload, it will take forever, and then sometimes it just pops right on there. So I don't know if it's YouTube traffic, if it's my computer, my traffic, I don't know, but about the time I wait till the last minute when we have troubles. So I will be back with you tomorrow. Like I said, we'll talk about our Back to the Beginning challenge kickoff. I hope everybody is ready. I hope they've got all their homework done. And so I will see you then.